It's not all about maple syrup.
No,
okay,
it's not.
It is the 15-minute morning show podcast. We are locked and loaded and ready to shoot.
Woo!
Yeah. I don't know what that means. But anyway, we've got special guests today. You're gonna meet them in a second. But first, in the room, we have Scary.
What's up?
We have Gandhi. Special guest A, you'll meet her in a second. And there's Garrett. And there's Scotty B in the other room. Here's special guest number 2, who you'll love. And here's Danielle. Hi. And of course, asshole over here.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Poor Nathaniel.
Oh, you can't make up like that.
I should be nice. He's spending the night with me tonight.
That's right.
What's up?
So our guests in the room, we'll start over here. So what can I say about Zena Burns? Zena Burns, we've been working with Zena, God, ever since she was in charge of digital for Teen
People Magazine.
Teen People Magazine.
Back in the day.
I used to write
Back
a
in the
little
day,
article
Teen
for
People.
them like once in a while, remember?
Yes, and you were at the fashion show with Paula Abdul.
I was.
Where you hosted the fashion show
That's
with
right.
Paula Abdul, where she was out of her mind.
Oh,
crazy.
she was.
No, we're not dating ourselves at all.
Not at all.
But actually, so she was in charge of social media before there was social media at Teen People. And so Zena is a very dear friend of the show and ours personally. We love her, Zena Burns. And over here, Taylor Jukes.
Hi.
Hello, Taylor. Taylor, of course, she's running all of our operations in beautiful Miami for our show at Y100. And she's also a Canadian. It's now time for Ask a Canadian.
Why?
Is that your national anthem?
Is that okay, Lana?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. You don't even know your own national
It
anthem?
kind of sounded like a different song for a second.
Well, now that you're
With the remix.
Well, now that you're living in Miami, have you forgotten all about your home country? No.
Yes, a lot.
Well, it's a new segment on our podcast called "What's That All About?" where we ask a Canadian. So go ahead. Ask away. Oh, Gandhi has
I have
a
a
question
question.
for a Canadian. Yes.
Okay, so anytime something bad is happening here in the U.S., we are always like, I'm moving to Canada. In Canada, if something goes down, do they say, I'm moving to the United States?
Never.
No, I didn't think so. I knew it.
No.
Only border hoppers one way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody wants in.
Yeah,
Have we ever really known of someone who definitely said, screw it, and they actually moved to Canada?
Well, no. I knew one who
People
said...
threatened to.
He said he was leaving the country if something happened, and then he left the country. He moved to Australia.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right, welcome
So,
to What's
Steve-
It All About? Ask a Canadian. Taylor Jukes is here. Yes.
Other than Michael Bublé and Justin Bieber, what are some other big
Shawn Mendes.
yeah, Shawn Mendes
Drake.
and Drake. You're right.
I'm sorry, go
Alanis
ahead.
Morissette.
Some other big time
The
artists.
Weeknd.
Oh, yeah, The
Oh,
Weeknd.
yeah, The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
I forget he's Canadian.
Yeah, Shawn Mendes, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Alessia Cara was one. There's tons of big Canadians.
They don't even have accents, a boot accents.
Tate McRae,
Slightly.
who we just hung out with at the
Oh,
Elvis
yeah.
Duran
She's-
Summer
I
Pool
heard
Party
it.
in
I just
Miami.
heard the
Hung out
accent.
with?
I heard it.
We hung oot.
Hung out with?
Okay, ask a Canadian.
I
We
got
call it-
one.
We call it What's It All About?
Okay, it's a two-part question. Why do you guys like hockey so much, and do you play hockey yourself? What's that all about?
That's 3 questions.
Yes, Canadians love hockey. It's like the national sport, obviously. Big deal. No, I don't play hockey. But I can ice skate,
Oh,
and I can ice skate in men's hockey skate.
Oh, talent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Points.
I don't use those
good.
girly figure skating ones with the toe. I use the men's ones.
look at that.
Ooh.
I will tell you, I went into a hockey team's locker room one time.
Oh.
Really?
It's the stinkiest thing I've ever smelled in my life. The hockey players sweat
Oh.
and stink more than any other sport. There.
Not where I thought you were going with that
Yeah.
conversation.
What else did you do in there, Duran?
I sniffed the room and left.
I got one.
Oh, okay. What's it all about? Ask a Canadian.
What's poutine all about?
Oh.
That's French. That's on the other side of the country.
But it's still Canada.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Everybody loves the poutine, but it's mostly a Montreal.
But what
Quebec.
is it? What's the poutine?
Oh, it's
Disco
cheese
fries.
curds. So they take cheese curds and you put it on French fries and then you pour gravy on it.
So good. You never had
nice.
poutine?
No.
Oh,
Boy.
Danielle.
I want that.
Oh, wait,
I find that hard to believe.
I need to go to Canada just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and that's
should-
just the original. They make all these different ones. You can get like pork belly on top of it. There's like boutique poutine places. So maybe it is
Boutique
a bigger thing.
poutine places.
I thought disco fries were good, but that sounds real good.
Welcome to What's It All About? Ask a Canadian. Yes, Scary.
So I was in Montreal recently, and I was shocked to find out that they have like Jewish deli wars and bagel wars in Montreal.
Why is that weird?
Well, I find it because I thought that was only like a New York thing.
You thought
But when
Jewish people only lived in New York?
No, but I didn't expect to go to a place like a French province like that, and they're fighting over bagels. My question is, do they feel that they are like that New York and the United States pale in comparison?
What did he
With
say?
food
Are you
when it
talking to
comes
Weird Al?
bagels?
I saw you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What's
things
the
like
question?
That.
Repeat it.
What's
You know, New York
Would you-
has the best pizza.
what is this all about?
New York has the best pizza. Do the Canadians be like, F New Yorkers and their bagels, we're the best? Do they have that complex, you know?
What did you just
I
say?
don't. I heard Iggy Azalea was there.
Taylor,
You always think you're the best, like you're the shit. Like we
What are you talking about?
What's the question?
What is the question?
The question is, do you guys?
Okay, may
Okay, can I just say, I'm from Vancouver, BC, which is
that's-
on the other side of the country.
Right.
We're all very
so
nice
they don't
from
have
there.
that.
Yeah.
That's like asking a New Yorker about Alabama. Like, we don't know. We have no idea.
I've been to Montreal once. It's beautiful there, and yes, the people are a little snotty there about their food. I'll say that much.
That's what I'm asking.
Is that what
Is
it's all
anyone
about?
else
Like that.
exhausted from
Yeah.
that guy? I don't know what just happened.
That was a roller coaster.
I had
I
this experience.
I think maybe let me know if I'm asking the question correctly. Here in New York, we are very, very pizza passionate, proud,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, where you're from,
Yeah.
what do you guys do better than we would ever be able to do here?
Besides poutine.
Poutine's on the wrong side of the country.
Salmon.
Yes, Sam, that's a perfect one.
Salmon.
Yes, the seafood is amazing. Like a wild Alaska, like that halibut comes from Alaska. It also comes from British Columbia up there too. Oh, it's the best. The seafood's really good.
Oh,
What an easy answer to a very
Right.
complex question.
very complex question. I have a question.
Oh wait, what's it
I
all
think
about?
we're out of
We
time
don't.
based on
What's this
Scary's
about?
question.
What's it all about? Ask a Canadian. Go.
It's not all about maple syrup.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
let's wait for somebody to answer.
I went to Vancouver a few years ago, and we wanted to hop off a bus at a certain street. And the bus driver said, "Oh, no, that's a rough area. I'm going to take you just a little further down." And it was one street in Vancouver that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It puts anything in New York to shame. They said anything goes there. They send everybody to this one street to do all the bad stuff. What is the name of that street?
Hastings Street.
Yes!
East Hastings
I
Street.
have
No.
never seen
What
something
is
like
so
that in America.
Interesting about East Hastings Street.
It's it's a lot like I'm not sure what the comparable in New York would be, but like Venice in LA, it's a homeless area. It's a really large homeless
Oh.
population in that area. And a few years ago, Vancouver opened a safe injection site,
Yeah.
so
Right.
that they could at
Wow.
least be safe, and they just kind of all came down. So it's an ongoing economic.
It was explained to us that basically, in order to keep the crime down everywhere else, they're allowing everyone to head over to Hastings Street and just kind of like live your life. Do it over there. Don't do it anywhere else. I was like,
Wow.
wow, I've never seen
Yeah,
this
it's a
before.
bit of a party. There's tent cities down there and stuff.
Wow.
But
I saw a
um,
guy with a giant boa just walking around. I'm like, what? How did a snake get here?
Oh, a snake or like a feather boa?
No, like a giant boa constrictor.
By the way, welcome to What's That All About? Ask a Canadian. Scotty B has a question for Taylor. Yes, go ahead.
I do. Who is Tim Horton, and why is he all about coffee?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail as a Canadian here. He's the coffee guy. Tim Hortons is the biggest coffee chain in Canada.
Even Justin Bieber has like a
Is he a
collab
real
with
guy?
him.
Yeah, he's got donuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
donuts.
Is
he a real guy?
I
Is he
believe
a real
he's
guy?
Long
Yeah.
gone.
They're actually they're up north a lot too, like not northeast.
We have them in Erie.
But yeah, they're in Pennsylvania, Ohio,
They
Michigan.
started trying to come into New York, but it didn't work so well.
But
Oh,
wait,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, and they're tied to hockey too. So in some of the places that Gandhi had mentioned, in New York, in the arenas, in the hockey arenas, they have Tim Hortons as well.
well, so
Yeah.
we just learned something about, Nate's hometown, Erie, Pennsylvania. They have a Tim Hortons.
Yes.
So if ever looking for one reason to go to Erie, we got one.
Oh, and there's several reasons.
But to sound cool, you say Timmy's though. You don't say Tim Hortons.
Oh, look at Garrett.
Timmy
with the
Ho-
win.
it's Timmy Ho's. Yeah.
Well, my
That's
brother-in-law's-
what people. The Canadian thing to do is go to Timmy's and get a double.
My brother-in-law's from Quadra Island, so I've gotten a crash course in
Oh,
Vancouver.
God, we didn't know that about you. You've been listening to Ask a Canadian. What's it all about? And of course, Zena's here. Like, well, what about me? Ask me questions.
Well, no. I'm actually curious because I grew up in Detroit, which is the only place in the world where Canada is south of the border.
Right.
Windsor.
Windsor.
Yeah.
Yes. Fun fact. So I grew up about a mile away from the border,
Oh, wow.
and so we used to go all the time. And I know that you can drink, gamble, and buy codeine over the counter when you're 19.
All right.
And also that at McDonald's you could get a lot of things that you can't get at the McDonald's in the United States.
Oh,
like
really?
they used to have Canadian bacon on their bacon cheeseburgers.
Oh, yeah.
there. So what is something that you can get in the United States that you can't get in Canada?
Oh, what's it all about?
Oh, that's
Monkeypox.
good.
So something you can get in the United States that you can't get in Canada.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thinking of food. I mean, guns come to mind.
Yeah.
Let's not go
Oh,
there.
man, that's so
Or
sad.
there's that.
It's so true, though.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I think that pretty much answered that question. Well, all right. Well, look, it's been a great round of What's It All About? Asking Canadian.
Tomorrow,
Hey, Taylor.
I think we should question Nate and ask an Aryan.
Oh, anytime.
An
I'll be here.
Aryan.
And that's the end of the podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.